Hello everyone, and welcome to this Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 video. I'm a real-world small plane pilot, and I have a VL-3 from JMB, same one as this one. I did a flight yesterday, and today I will do the same flight with the Flight Simulator one. And I will compare it to with each other, and I will give my thoughts about this. Just to let you know, I'm experienced pilot. However, I'm quite new with the VL-3. I had it just for some few months now and flown it like 20 hours. The weather preset is more or less the same as it was when I flew yesterday. It was not calm, but like 5 knots from the northeast. So the departure runway will be 05 for this. Okay, so let's jump into the aircraft and fire it up. Okay, so I'll lift up a little bit here. Okay, the first thing I see is it's quite the same as mine one inside. This one has electric flaps. I have a manual. And this one has 2 G3X screens. Mine one has only 1. And the switches are not located on the same spot as mine. However, the radio central responder is the same. And yeah. I see this one has electric constant speed propeller. Mine one has a hydraulic constant speed propeller, and also possible to adjust it. Except that it's not much of a difference. I see this one has a kilometer per hour airspeed indicator. I don't know if it's as knots or airs kilometer per hour inside the G3X screens. We will see. Okay. First thing you notice here, check here, is it completely closed and locked? It is. And handbrake on mine one, actually the brake is set when it's fully forward. On this one it's set on a backward position. So I don't know why, but could be some difference. Okay, the master switch, and we need avionics switch. The first thing I notice here is that this one is very quick to be ready. On a real one, it needs a lot more time, and the RSHS need to be aligned. Don't need that here, and that's one of the little bit disappointing thing with this flight simulator model is that the G3X screens doesn't. It looks quite the same, but it's not. It hasn't a feature like the real one has. Okay, so the brake is set. We have chosen the right fuel tank, and we have look here. We have a lot of fuel. The right tank is full, and we need choke. We don't have any alarms here. Put on the fuel pump. We power it off. Okay, so we can take off the fuel pump again. We need to set the elevation for the field, which is 390 feet approximately. I don't know how we do that here. Okay, and a real one. Here, that's the autopilot. Okay. altitude is the auto one. But you press it. I'm not sure, but we can press B and I will. Okay, so it's set for the right pressure. It shows 420 feet. It's not so bad. It's 400 in real life. And another thing that's a little bit disappointing, you can't see if it's knots or kilometers per hour. However, looking at the speed there, I see that minimum flap setting, the stall speed is 30 knots. Well, yes. And the green range starts 40. This is knots, so it's quite confusing. You have knots here and you have a kilometer per hour. You wouldn't have that in real life. That will cause trouble for sure. And one thing more I notice here is that the shock is still on, but the engine is running the same smooth. And in real life, it will not. You will for sure notice. And this is also a part of the checklist that you check this. So, okay, we push it in. So it's off. We need to set the radius for the field. It's 129.9, like that. Okay, and the fast squawk is 7,000. That's okay. We put it to ground. Now we can really just put it on hold because there's no other aircraft here. So it automatically change when we are. Okay, we put on some strobe lights. Flashes more than they do in real life. Okay, it's from the building. Looking at the airfield there, this scenery is downloaded from flightsim.to, and well, the buildings are they're not the same, but they are placed more or less on the same spot, so it should be okay. This hangar looks like real life. And also see that they have the new taxiway now for a new hangar up here. The real airport is fenced around always, so there's a fence here. And this is a hangar, and this is a hangar, and this is that is a school building actually in the real world. Okay, but that was not what we are checking out. And the aircraft looks very, very similar to mine. It's the same. And it has the same engine. It's a Rotax 100 horsepower. Okay. So we have checked everything, so we can start the taxi. Take off the parking brake. Give it power. And we are rolling. Okay, it's rolling a little bit better than it do in real life. You need to add a little bit more power. When I'm in taxiing now, I don't have any power at all, and still we are maintaining the speed more or less. Okay, it seems like we're going a little bit slower. Okay, but that's not too bad. And also note that, of course, the controllers, the flight stick I have in my home PC it's not the same as the real world. So, but I have a oh, there's actually a plane. Nice. I have Trustmaster Warthog system, which I'm quite happy with. I used to fly airliners on a simulator like the PMG G727 and the things. However, from time to time, I think it's fun to do a VFR flight with, for example, this one, the VL-3. There is better propeller geoplane available, but of course, since I have the same aircraft, I think it's a little bit fun to fly. VL-3 is known to be a very fast plane, and I will say it's not for beginners. It's for more advanced users because it's very quick, and also yeah, you need to know what you are doing. It's not for a beginner. I have flown for 12 years now with different planes, and I would say that was quite new experience to get in this one, because it's so fast. Okay, it turns a little bit better than a real one. Okay, then we're ready. Okay, then we are ready for takeoff. And so the biggest difference from the real world airplane compared to the flight simulator one is that with the real world, when you add a lot of power, good power for takeoff, you will have a lot of the plane will try to go to the left, and so you need to add a lot of right rudder to keep on center line. On the flight simulator one model, you don't need to do that. You hardly never need to use the rudder except when you are on the runway, and so that's a really big difference from the real one. And it's also very important. The plane, like here in the simulator, accelerate very fast, and in order not to exceed the flap limit speed, you need to retract the flaps as soon as you are in the air, and also the gear will need to be retracted within 18 knots. So these things need to happen very quickly. Okay, so fuel pump is on, and before takeoff checklist is done, and so I give full power. Oh, we have 50 knots, flaps up, gear up. Okay. We have the gear is up and locked. We have 3 red lights. We have 1,000 feet. We'll turn a little bit left, like I did, and we will climb for 1,004 feet. Okay, I can power off a little bit. Okay. What should I say? The flight simulator model is actually climbing a little bit better. However, the real world aircraft is with such much power I have like 70–80% now. It will really accelerate more than this one. So now we are maintaining 90 knots with our power setting of 90%, 80 to 90%. With the real world we would have be within 130 knots, I think. Okay, so try to come above the center line. We will descend for 600 feet. And to fly this one in the air is not much of a difference from the real one. This one's have a little bit lower. This one have electric adjustable propeller. I have a hydraulic one on mine one, so it's not the same. I adjust it manually as well. Okay, I add full power. You can't hear really the difference on the sound of the engine. It's probably because of the electric propeller. Okay, 7, now we will climb. I will turn slowly right, and I will climb for 1,500 feet. And what I will try to do here is to do a steep descent on the final to see if it behaves more or less the same as the real one. The flaps are very effective on the VL-3. So when you use this flap 3 of 55 degrees, you can go very steep. It's no problem to descend with more than 1,000 feet per minute. And when I did the flight, the pressure was it was not very high. It was 1,003 hectopascal, and the temperature was like 5 degrees. So it descended quite quickly. Okay, we are a little bit high. And the maximum speed of extending the gears is 80 knots. I usually go a little bit lower in order to not to break the heads over the gear. Don't give them too much stress. Okay. So I can. Okay, we have 80 knots. I usually anchor like this. We have 73. I put down the gear. We are waiting for gear to be down and locked. We should have 3 green lights. Okay, we have 3 greens. In real world, it takes more time than this one. It takes a lot more time. I cannot put on the flaps yet. Okay, so I need to lower the speed 60 knots. I can start to take on flaps. We put on full flaps and we lower the nose. It should be quite similar as the flight I did. Okay, so now we have a descent rate of 1,100 feet. It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. It's quite similar. Maybe a little bit better descent rate with this one. So it's a little bit difficult to okay, I will level out like this. Okay, and we have touchdown. Take off the flaps. We're backtracking to hangar. Okay, it's not necessary, I can stop there. Okay, and I will fuel pump off. I will stop the engine. Okay, so how is this compared to the real one? Of course, it's like with all flight simulators. You can't really compare them directly to the real one because you know you are sitting at home comfortably in your chair and you don't feel any forces or anything movements, and that's a big difference, because when you are flying in real world, you can feel all inputs at the aircraft, and you adjust pitch and roll by that feeling. And if you simulate, you need to see and look for everything, and that's a big difference. But if you compare the planes, well, it's not too bad at all. However, it's a little bit quicker during the acceleration and the climbing, the flight simulator one, even with the stock engine of 100 horsepower. And you don't need to use any rudder at all, just a little bit maybe, and that's really the biggest difference from the real one. Yeah, and of course, this is some other things. It also depends on kind of gear you have, flight stick you have, and all that thing that will affect this a little bit, the feeling you have. But overall, I think it's not too bad at all. But it's not the same as a real one, of course. It's not. But it's fun to fly. And also I have flown with a modified version with a 915 engine, and well, I don't have a 915 engine in my airplane, so I really don't know how that one is. However, I don't think it's so much of a difference from the flights from the 912 version. What I really miss with this one is have the G2X working like in the real world, so you can do a flight with flight planning and everything. Except that radios are the same, fuses, the switch, main switch, and avionics switch. I don't have a backup battery in mine one, so I don't have this button here, and they are not situated at the same spot as in this one. And of course I have the hydraulic propeller, so I have one more lever here that I can adjust. Except that it's the same, and overall I think it's a fun aircraft to fly, and I will download the modification, the flight dynamics modification found on the flightsim.to to see if there's any difference. I expect it to be difference with a rudder input, because that's the biggest difference here from the real one. Okay, so we will jump into the one with the modified flight dynamics. Okay, then we are more or less ready for takeoff. For a takeoff checklist. The canopy is locked. Flaps. Flap 1. Fuel pump. Landing light. Strobe light is on. Radio is the right frequency. Transponder is set to alt. QNH is set for field. And we have fuel and all instruments are within limits. Okay, then we are ready for takeoff. So, immediately when we are airborne, we need to retract the flaps. Okay, we have full speed. I actually need to use a little bit more rudder. Right rudder. So that's nice. Okay, we have anything else? Flaps up. Gear up. Okay, so we will increase the speed a little bit. And still maybe climb a little bit better than the real one. But it's not much of a difference. 1100 feet, 1200, okay, so we will banking a little bit sharper. Okay. speed is increasing. We are aiming for 600. Okay, we add more. Okay, not too bad at all. Trim a little bit. Oh, also here I don't need to add any right rudder. That's not the same with wheel mode. With full power, you need to add a rudder in order to fly to have the ball in center. And we have 1000 power here. Okay, I reduce the thrust a little bit. The scene is quite nice. You have this place down here is not much of a difference from real life. And you see the river and city center. Very nice. Okay, we have 1000 pound feet. We are turning around towards Brazil 5. Alright. Okay, so it might be a little bit quicker to the banking compared to the real one. Okay, we need 80 or below, we have 76, 75, okay, gear down. And sorry, can't put flaps yet. I need 60 knots. Okay, 60 knots, flap 1. I'll give flap 2 and flap 3. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm aiming for 60 knots. Actually, we can go all in. So I see now we're descending like 1,300 feet per minute, and we can do even steeper. 2,000 feet per minute. So seems like you can descend a little bit more with the flight simulator compared to the real one. And we have gear down, three green locked, full flap, ready for landing. Okay, and we flare out. Okay, and we are down. Alright. I can retract the flaps. Alright, okay, so I will just stop here, put the brake on. I can lights, the transponder, okay, radio off, engine off. Okay, as you notice, I didn't do the run-up with the magneto check, because this is a flight simulator. That was not the purpose to check to see if that's the same. And so, a quick summary. And this is my opinion only, it's not the feeling or the meaning from another VL-3 pilot could be completely different from mine one. So this is just my opinion. What I think, this is was with the modification mod download from flightsim.to, and I think it was a little bit better. I haven't studied yet the notification, what kind of modification that has been done, but I might felt a little difference on the flight, a little bit better compared to the stock one from the Microsoft Flight Simulator. However, I don't think the stock one is bad either, but this one was maybe a little bit better, a little bit more like real life. And but the downside still is that you don't have the forces from the propeller when you're accelerating with full power, and so you don't need to use a lot of rudder here on the flight simulator. A real aircraft, you need to do that, but it depends a bit where you are, the wind direction. Like now we had a little bit of wind from the northwest, and we took off from runway 05. Then it's actually better. It's usually wind from the south or the southeast at that field, and the active runway is then 23, and then you need to use actually even more rudder. So it was not too bad. So my overall, I think is the plane in the flight simulator is quite fun. It's not exactly the same as the real one, and of course in flight simulator you are sitting in a chair at home. You don't feel anything movements, and so you don't react and adjust for the movements you are feeling, and so that's maybe the biggest difference from a flight simulator compared to real life. And yeah, and you have the torque from the propeller that in real aircraft that you need a lot of right rudder, as said. And the G2X screens in the flight simulator plane is really downside, because that one is not similar as G2X at all, and don't have the feature that a real G2X has. Okay, but this was just a short ride overhead the airport, and I will see if I can make some more videos from other maneuvers in the air to compare with the real one in the future. So now let's jump into the real aircraft and see how that one was.
Okay, so I'm going to do a takeoff again. This one, this time compared with the flight simulator. A little bit crosswind here from the northeast, northwest. Yeah, flap 1. Instrument is within the limits. Can put on the fuel pump. And as I said, when we take off, we need a lot of right rudder. Lima Victor taking off runway so far. Okay, so pushing the right rudder, and we have 50 knots, and we can start to, okay, flap down, gear up. And we have 3 red, so the gear is up and locked. feet. Don't see on other traffic. 900 feet. 1000. Is it any traffic around the Gultamp area? Gultamp, Lima Victor, going to do a low approach overhead runway 23. Okay. Lima Victor, final 2-3, low approach. So we are close to the VNE.
Sink rate, pull up. Sink rate, pull up.
Up Lima Victor, heading for Black Star. There har vi fängslet. So it's actually quite different, as I said, from the flight simulator, but anyway, it's very fun to fly, both real one, of course, and also the flight simulator one. Victor, on left base 05 for full stop landing this time. I'm at 1,500 feet. It's actually quite high. So what I shall do now, I will do a very steep descent. Because this aircraft has a maximum flap setting of 55 degrees, and you can go very steep. Okay, so like this, and we have 80, 70, down the gear, Lima Victor, final 05 for full stop landing. We have 1,600 feet, and the airfield is more or less right below us. And full flap 3, 55 degrees. And we're actually going slower, even with this steep descent. So we are aiming now for 60 knots. Yeah, 58. 60 knots. We have a 3 green, gear locked, fuel pump on. We have flap 3, 60 knots. Okay, so that was not a normal landing. I never do landing on flap 3 with descending for 1,600 feet, more or less on the threshold on the airfield. Okay, so I was not on the threshold, but I was not far out. Can actually do a very steep descent with this aircraft, and today also the pressure is not very high, so air density is so high. Okay. So it's shut down. Parking brake on. Landing light off. Strobe light off. And magnetos off. Radio. Put it to far. On off. Radio off.